15th, Celebrity Wife Swap is back.
Oh, yeah!
With two Hollywood dynasties.
The Jacksons meet the Baldwins.
They should blend well together, right?
I am gonna break you.
Let's see if you can.
Celebrity Wife Swap premieres Tuesday, April 15th on
Hey guys, it's me here, Comrade Lavender here, and today I'm back with another anti-capitalism deep dive true crime video topic. Today I want to do the Pure Evil files, the Pure Evil, the Wife Swap reality TV show files, deep dive, capitalism, sexism, true crime, reality TV exploitation, etc. So let's get started in this YouTube video topic. But before we get started, all my other YouTube videos that I've done about reality TV shows that relate to this topic will be on the screen right now if you'd like to check out my other YouTube videos I've done about other reality TV shows. So let's get started in this YouTube video topic.
Cops believe Jacob Stockdale shot and killed his little brother James and their mother as well, then turned the weapon on himself. The Stockdale family appeared in an episode of the TV show Wife Swap back in 2008. In the episode, a mom from another family switched places with Catherine Stockdale. Lori spent 8 days with the Stockdale family. When you first heard about what happened to the Stockdale family, what was your reaction?
I actually, when my son called me to tell me what had happened, he didn't know who the shooter was. I knew immediately.
You knew in your heart that it was Jacob.
Yeah.
Cops say they're trying to figure out why Jacob allegedly opened fire on James and their 54-year-old mother at their home outside Akron, Ohio.
The other mom's a Cajun queen.
No swimming.
Who's gonna put this family's staunch vegan values to the test.
I was worried about the kids.
And they're not the only ones she rubs the wrong way.
We don't want to see them killed. It's just the way life is.
This mom's attempts to control this bio brat.
If you're not gonna be nice to me, you're not gonna get to do fun things around here.
Are gonna come back to bite her.
You're fired.
It's a swap that's a war of wills.
I'm gonna go ahead and do it my way.
From minute one.
There's not a chance in hell.
And it
He
starts
said, no, you look.
I'm about to pull my hair out.
right now.
The wives and husbands meet each other for the first time to discuss their experiences before returning home.
I don't believe that a man should cook or clean. We've been together 8.5 years. I've never tasted his cooking.
That's interesting.
Isn't it?
They helped me in the kitchen.
Yeah, we helped. I'm gonna strong arm this one, but it's the best meal I've ever eaten. Ever. That stuff is good. I genuinely like this meal, so it's like way eye-opening to me.
Thank you.
Lori is still furious at the Trevino's after they sang an off-book song during her scripted, wholesome family show.
In my house, it would never have been allowed to do what you guys did to me on stage today. You guys talk about keeping it real, and you played me.
Are we really doing bad stuff? Can you really answer that question?
It's not about whether you're a good person.
Exactly.
It's about
we're in that environment, and obviously it's not rubbing off on us. Obviously, we're not doing bad things.
A bad environment.
What's the difference? What's real, what's fake with you? When do you keep it real?
You guys didn't keep it real today. You just kept it your way that you always do stuff, with no boundaries.
You're so stuck on what I'm doing wrong. What could you do better as a parent?
You don't
Nothing. Of course, nothing. You couldn't do nothing better as a parent. She's like talking to a wall. She always wants to focus on what I'm not doing. She never wants to focus on anything that she's doing wrong, because Lori does no wrong.
She wants to wear sparkly nail polish, and she wants to wear makeup.
Clara, take it off.
I believe that teaching girls to wear makeup teaches them that they're not enough. They have to be pretty for them to have value.
Claire is a diva, and I'm a scholar. A few of my favorite things to do is read forensic anthropology books, look at the microscope, dissect whatever animal my mom happens to get. The things I hear about public school, popularity and makeup and boys, these are none of the things I care about.
Oh my God, there's a cheerleader microphone and a princess crown. I might be in hell.
Small little house. Driveway could use some work.
Before they meet their new families, the wives get a chance to explore their new homes.
Oh my God. People can't live like this. Just get into modern times.
It's spring, and there's a Christmas tree.
Oh my God, there's so many books. Latin, algebra, microscope. Maybe they're homeschooled.
It's just some random pop star that I don't even know.
Where's the makeup? No glitz and glamour here.
This can't be her. This is her life. This is who she is. That's just really scary. She looks like a prostitute.
For the first week, the wives must live by the rules of their new family. Each wife has written a manual as a guide to the running of their homes.
Alicia's been winning pageants since she was just 11 months old.
I'm raising my girls to be mature, capable women who defy the helpless female stereotype.
So this is Mom's problem, not hers.
Who are they ever going to attract in later on life?
We have all of her swimwear custom made with a high cut leg. Do I keep reading or can I go vomit now?
Homeschooling allows us to infuse our feminist ideas in everything we teach. There's more to life than women.
To help her out, Ralph and I have done all of her school projects for her.
Clara wears fingernail polish and makeup at age 6. It drives me nuts. Just things she's learning for future.
We keep a Christmas tree decorated in our living room year-round and give Alicia a present every day to show how much we love her. Oh, that girl is in for a rude awakening when she has to leave this house and live in the real world.
Next, the wives meet their new family.
7. Blatant misogyny. It's no wonder that Helani Lobdell felt like she was transported back in the 1940s when she entered the Moon household.
We have very traditional roles, and I believe that as a wife, I should support my husband as the head of our household. What?
Self-proclaimed man of the house, Jack Moon, believes that a woman's purpose is to serve men and look pretty doing it. While his beliefs alone are belittling to an entire gender, his enforcement of those beliefs are even more insulting.
Do you cook?
No. Jack, do you cook?
No.
While the family spoils Alicia with Christmas presents year-round and completes schoolwork for the teenager, the values instilled in their impressionable daughter may be disturbing to some.
Alicia, who usually has her parents do her homework, has to do a school project herself.
Just make a note you'll want to check your spelling of America. I would be very concerned. She's not able to write complete sentences. She lacks basic spelling skills. It was hard for her.
Both parents place utmost importance on physical appearance, especially when it comes to Alicia. Mr. Gustafaro in particular makes several unsavory comments in relation to his daughter's looks and even helps to keep up her appearances.
Ralph's not used to anybody, particularly a woman standing up to him. I'm not surprised. I mean, that Ralph immediately went to intimidating behavior.
To say his involvement in Alicia's physical looks is uncomfortable to watch would be an understatement. Number 2, raw food diet. Kim Hess-Webb is a quintessential urban mother whose prime focus remains on education and cleanliness. Little did she know that she was in for one of the most shocking experiences of her life when she lived with the Hagewoods.
This is what Barb would eat.
Yeah, and it, you know what? Actually, it smells really good, but I just can't. I can't do it, and I don't want to risk my health.
This family of farmers unschools their children, brushes their teeth with butter, and consumes an all-raw food diet. That means vegetables, eggs, and yes, even raw meat.
The holy grail of guilty pleasure television is hands down early 2000s reality TV. While every early 2000s reality TV show had problems and problematic situations that haven't aged well at all, Wife Swap is an American reality TV show series that debuted in early 2004. It is modeled after the British original series. Cameras follow two women from two different backgrounds as they swap and trade homes and places and families for 2 weeks. The show's episodes where families exchange lives to test their adaptability and resilience. If you're not familiar with the premise of the show, Wife Swap is the idea for the wife of one family to live with another family, and they must create a manual for the new wife to follow, and by design, each wife comes from a vastly different family. For instance, one wife might be from a meat-eating family, while the other is a vegan family. One family could be strict, while the other one could be living a more hippie lifestyle. Another example is one wife might be from a highly religious family, but for 2 weeks she has to live with a family who has no religion, or that one family is rich and has a rich lifestyle while the other one is a poor and lives a poor lifestyle. Each week, two sets of almost always heterosexual couples were matched with each wife and then sent to spend 2 weeks in the other's household and home. For the first week, the new wife had to follow the old wife's rules, helpfully written down in a journal manual. For the second week, the new wife got to impose her own rules instead. At the end of each episode, we see both couples sit down and meet up for the showdown, in which they shared what they've learned from each other. The problems with Wife Swap Some say that the show manipulated families to create drama for the audience and that it invaded the privacy of children. Some say the show exploited children by allowing cameras into their faces, into their homes, which could make them feel like they have no boundaries. The biggest downside of Wife Swap is how bigoted it looks in 2023. A lot of the time in this reality TV show, the families were extremely controlling and the husbands are very misogynistic and very sexist. And things such as from the mammy cookie jars in a family in Missouri proudly owned in Season 1, Episode 11, to the anti-marriage equality rhetoric spewed by one wife in Season 1, Episode 14, the attitudes around race and sexuality in Wife Swap reflected the backwards times in the early 2000s era. In some episodes, like Season 1, Episode 8, sexist ideals around a man providing a woman performing all household and childbearing duties, contrasted the opposite family dynamic with stay-at-home father and high-powered executive wife. In one of the most recent seasons of Wife Swap a few years ago, a husband wanted the other wife from the other family to put on makeup and look good, and how women need makeup to look good for the husband. Where racism, homophobia, and sexism flared, a picture of an empowered dynamic encountered. One of the darkest aspects of Wife Swap to me was its willingness to showcase families who seemed to border on complete toxicity and even alleged child abuse and very controlling behavior. In Season 1, Episode 7, Wife Swap introduces viewers to two vastly different families as usual. In the Blitter family, the tight-knit Western Virginia crew seems to spoil their children. In this household, emotions run high, but there seems to be a level of mutual respect at the end of the day. On the other hand, in the other end of the spectrum, the other family, the Reamers, run their family with military-like precision. In this highly conservative Christian family, the children are homeschooled on a schedule and disciplined with leather switch known as the whacker. Each child has a whacker hung on their door as a reminder of the consequences of disobeying one of the many rules in the home. The Ramirez children also completed all the chores in the home. Their household was about controlling the kids and keeping tasks on them at all times. For me, that smacks the toxicity of not downright abuse. In the early 2000s, we just saw this is strict parenting, the tragic story of Jacob Stockdale, the former Wife Swap contestant who unalived his mother and brother 9 years after the conservative family was featured on the ABC hit reality TV show Wife Swap. Jacob Stockdale fatally shot his mother and brother before attempting to unalive himself. On June 15, 2017, 25-year-old Jacob Stockdale fatally shot his mother and his brother before turning the gun on himself. Though he survived, his motives remain somewhat mysterious. On April 23, 2008, the Stockdale episode of Wife Swap aired on ABC. It featured the Stockdale family from Ohio and the Tonnett family from Illinois. As usual, the families featured on the show had completely different philosophies about life and raising children. The Tonkovic family, Lori, her husband John, and their children, T-Vic and Megan, were easygoing and laid back. You only have so long, so we enjoy it every day as it comes, always said in the show, which depicted her dancing with her children, bringing burgers home, and liberally handing out cash. But the Stockdale family, Kathy, her husband Timothy, and their son Calvin, Charles, Jacob, and James, had totally different perspectives on family values and family life. Their version of fun was their wholesome family bluegrass band. The children were kept in relatively seclusion to protect the boys from bad influences and had to work for privileges like listening to the radio. We don't allow any cussing, she said. I think that dating has physical dangers like pregnancy. It's not worth it. It's important that we have control over their character and their education. As expected, Kathy and Lori both drummed up drama in their new families, but 9 years later, the Wife Swap murders proved that the TV show had only shown the tip of the iceberg in the Stockdale home. Though no official motive was ever released, Lori Tonkovic, Jacob's temporary mother during the 2008 episode of Wife Swap, has a theory as to why Jacob attacked his family members. When I switched the rules up and I was going to let them have fun and let them have a television and video games and experience a little fun, Jacob ran outside crying, she told TMZ, and I went out after him. I asked him what was wrong. He said that his mom and dad would tell him he would burn in hell. God gives you free will. Free will they didn't have. They weren't allowed to make their own choices. I think that just caught up to him. Speculated that Jacob's strict upbringing caused him to snap. So where does the true crime case of the Wife Swap murder stand today? Following Jacob Stockdale's indictment and arrest on October 2018, Jacob pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. He spent 2 years in a mental health facilities from which he tried to escape twice. He was later found to be sane at the time of the Wife Swap murders. However, shortly before his trial in May 2021, he pled guilty to killing his mother and brother. He was handed 2 15-year sentences, one for each death, and will spend 30 years in prison. To date, the Stockdale family has said little about the Wife Swap murders. Privately, they asked the judge to approach Jacob's case with leniency. The Wife Swap murders stand as a chilling example of the limitations of reality TV shows. Like the claim, it gives audience intimate views of other people's lives. But when Jacob Stockdale killed his mother and brother, he proved that there's often more to the story than the TV cameras can see. On another episode of Wife Swap, more problematic moments were caught on camera. Jermone Jackson, Michael Jackson's brother, appeared on Celebrity Wife Swap, was considered problematic during the hour-long episode. Jackson's wife, Halia, swapped with Daniel Baldwin's former girlfriend, Isabella Hoffman. He became visibly upset and completely uncooperative when the other celebrity wife attempted to address what appeared to be a hoarding situation issue in his home when some of the rooms were just filled with stuff not being used. He refused to let the other wife touch the belongings. The main issue raised in the show was that Jermaine, a large collection of clothes and personal items, were taking up significant space in his home, which the swap partner considered excessive. She just wanted to clean up a little bit. Not get rid of the stuff, just clean it up, just move it. And ultimately he tried to shut down the TV production for a period of time due to his resistance to change and strong negative reaction to the whole situation, even though he agreed to be on this reality TV show. He never responded or sat down to comment about the whole wife swap at the end of the situation like the other wife swap families do. Fans started clowning him, asking why he went on the reality TV show to do this, refused to change and not want anyone to touch him stuff, and how he didn't want to film after she tried to touch his stuff. In another problematic moment, Wife Swap husband charged with assault. A Nashville man being filmed for the TV show Wife Swap was charged with striking his 13-year-old daughter in the face after a production crew sought treatment for the girl. Yanni Panakoskis, 38 years old, was charged with domestic violent assault. Production on episode featuring his family was shut down. After they drove the girl and her 9-year-old brother to a friend's home Tuesday, members of the TV production crew noticed injuries on the girl's nose and cheek. She allegedly told them her father hit her several times because she was not wearing a coat. The crew took the girl and brother to the hospital where she was treated and released, and called the mother, who was in California filming the show. The father did not go with them to the hospital. The State Department of Children's Services was called, and the children were taken to a hotel to wait for their mother. The well-being of all participants in Wife Swap is a top priority, ABC said in a statement. At first realization the daughter of the Nashville family needed medical attention, producers immediately sought treatment and acted. Other problematic true crime case, 20-year-old Alicia Guerrero, who starred in the series Wife Swap in 2008, was arrested in New York for prostitution. A prostitution charge was dropped against her, a former teen pageant princess who appeared on the reality TV show Wife Swap. Prosecutors agreed to drop the charge, and in another Wife Swap episode that also was highly problematic was Season 1, Episode 2, Lobdell vs. Moon. We see total personalities, opposites clash. Haley Lobdell is a fierce, independent female firefighter. She swaps places with the abruptly named Misty Moon. Misty is a stay-at-home mom who caters to her sexist husband Jack's every whim. On a wife swap, Jack Moon shows his true colors right away as a sexist jackhole. He claims because he works to put on underwear on Misty's behind and food on the table, she has to mind his rules. Despite his pouchy frame, he fancies himself as a bodybuilder. Even more, this requires him to spend 4 hours each day in the gym, and of course eat 6 meals a day, meals that Misty must prepare. The food prep takes her 5 to 6 hours. While Misty slaves over the food prep, he bounces around and slaps her butt. The moms settle into the new homes, and she is appalled by Jack's behavior. He also mocks her job as a firefighter, and of course demands that she wear makeup and put on red lipstick. This certainly makes the natural beauty see red. She tells producers he's a caveman. He explains that his needs come first. He then says that in the evenings the kids must knock and ask to come out of the rooms. This horrifies her. Of course, she doesn't hold back in her criticism of Jack's primitive ways during the wife swap at the end of the episode, where they sit down and Jack jumps in to defend himself. Other controversial moments of this reality TV show, Wife Swap, include, in 2004, the Boone Luffy family, a lesbian couple, swapped lives with Christian conservative family. This episode was controversial, especially within the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer plus community. And in 2005 episode, the Felix family, who are white, swapped wives with the Wiggins family, who are black. The Felix family's husband, Jeremy, used racial slurs, which led to a confrontation with the Wiggins' wife, Nancy. The Bedford family of Hayvale, Oklahoma, sued ABC and Walt Disney Co. after appearing on the show. The Bedfords claimed that the show made Jeffrey physically and mentally ill. Woman calls her family's appearance on the reality TV show the worst mistake of their lives. Fashion influencer Haiti May doesn't beat around the bush. She called her family's choice to appear on the reality TV show the worst mistake of our lives. Haiti, who's now 36 years old, said she was 20 years old when her family appeared on the 6th season of the American adaptation of Wife Swap. At the time, Haiti and her family traveled and performed a theater known as the Capperdoodle Stoppers. She opened up about her alleged terrible experience with the reality TV on TikTok ahead of her appearance on the show. Haiti says she was taken to do a 700-question psychiatric evaluation and speak with a psychologist one-on-one for an hour to make sure she was mentally sound enough to be on the reality TV show. Although the episode aired back in 2010, Heidi said that she vividly remembers one question where they asked her, "What really makes you sad?" Growing up traveling and really lonely sometimes, she recalls responding, "When I feel alone, it makes me cry. It really makes me sad." In her TikTok, she claims that the other mother who swapped into her family proceeds to weaponize the information against her. In their very first conversation, they used the psych eval to find my pain and then exploit it for reality television. In an interview with Daily Dot, Haiti said that the other family was just as manipulated as her own family. Before every scene, the producer would take the other mother to a back room to talk to her. Then when she came out, it would be a fight. It wasn't until she broke the rule of never talking to us when the camera stopped rolling that we found out the producers were telling her lies about my mom and what was happening to her family, she claimed. They wanted her angry. They knew that triggering her protective nature would do the trick. The reality TV industry has long faced accusations of blurry ethics and pushing contestants past their limits to the brink of despair in the interest of juicier storylines and in the name of reality TV entertainment. In the Holland household, little King Curtis rules the roost. As king, he's used to having his every whim fulfilled by his parents, even if that means having no chores or living exclusively off these chicken nuggets. Much to Curtis's dismay, the wife swap brought Joy Brown to his life, and with Joy brought changes focused on discipline and healthy eating, meaning no more chicken nuggets, as well as no more chicken fingers. But if you catch our drift, this change was too much for Curtis to handle, leading to one of the most memorable moments on the show's history. There's something bewildering yet entertaining about Curtis' expression of anger, his well-spoken insults, and his attachment to chicken as he packs his tiny suitcase to walk out on joy. Kim Hess-Webb is a quintessential urban mother whose prime focus remains on education and cleanliness. Little did she know she was in for one of the most shocking episodes and experiences of her life when she lived with the Hagewoods. This family of farmers unschools their children, brushes their teeth with butter, and consumes all raw food diet. This means vegetables, eggs, and yes, even raw meat. The entire family aggressively defends their choices as healthy, boasting about the benefits from their diet, such as hair regrowth, but we'll let you decide if that worked for Mr. Hallingwood or not. Nevertheless, viewers and Kim cannot help cringe every time the Hagwoods bite into a piece of undercooked meat, in addition to wondering how they have survived this long eating that diet.